Assalamualaikum and hello everyone who are watching this video. In this video, our group will be talking about the topic that is parenting styles and parental involvement in child education for the YouTube development project of the course EDEP 1103 Educational Psychology. And here is our group members who are involved in this project, namely Nur Aisyatuiza binti Baharudin, Sharmin Atira binti Hatono, Umi Nur Hadira binti Ismail, and Toifat Ibrahim. First of all, we will be talking about the introduction, which gives us an overview of what the topic is about. Christopher Sfera 2005 states that understanding the distinction between parenting styles and parenting practices better is such a crucial thing. This is further elaborated by Darley and Steinberg 1993 as they define parenting practices as directly observed specific behaviors that parents use to socialize their children, while parenting style is the emotional climate in which parents raise their children. Parenting is a particular behavior that can be taken over or acquired, which a parent chooses to apply in his or her child's care, raising, and education. This definitely calls for us to pay extra attention to the process of parenting and child rearing. The first content that we will be focusing in this video is the literature review related to the topic. Literature on the parenting styles. According to Diana Borim, 1991, parents are categorized based on two aspects, which are responsiveness and demandingness, and three constraining kinds of parenting style have been defined as authoritative, authoritarian, and permissive style. Authoritative style is described as the parent having high responsiveness and high demandingness, wherein the parents can understand how the children are feeling and teach them on how to control their feelings. This style of parenting is characterized by a child-centered approach that regards high belief of maturity. However, this does not mean that the parents are unforgiving of any possible shortcoming, as stressed by the Strassen-Berger Kathleen 2011. Different from that of the authoritative style, the authoritarian style focuses more on low responsiveness and high demandingness, wherein the parent is demanding but they are not being responsive. Instead, they tend to prioritize on being obedient and respect for the authority. For instance, based on their solid principles and moral values, they set strict rules and monitor your child's behavior according to Nexoidi, Parambudi, and Beldianu I 2013. As for the permissive style, it is portrayed as high responsiveness and low demandingness, according to Diana Parim 1991. These kinds of parents manifest lesser control over their child's behavior and are considerably warm, as stated by Nexoidi, Parambudi, and Beldianu I 2013. It is believed that parenting styles play an important role in influencing the development of child education outlooks. Majority of studies that analyze the relationship between parenting styles and children's school achievement have continually proved that if parents are resorting to being more authoritative, their children will have better school outcomes, as stated by James 2007 and Slater 2006, as well as Donch-Berchel 1997. Furthermore, many past research also found that authoritarian and permissive parenting styles are associated with low academic achievement, as studied by Roger Yale 2007, Kim and Rohner 2002, McCabe 2000, Demo and Cox 2000, Glasgow Dashboard, Troyer, Steinberg, and Ritter, 1997. This also increasing the school problems, as studied by Roche and Sminger and Charlin in 2007. It could be concluded that the children who have parents who display a high degree of warm supervision and psychological autonomy granting have a much better academic achievement than those who do not. Literature on parental involvement in child education. Before incorporating schools and families together, there is still much remains to be learned in order to realize the promise of parent involvement, as stated by G.L. Big and M. Southern in 1997. However, many countries have pushed schools to reform, even giving mandates for parent involvement, thus giving a significant role to parents. For instance, major legislation, which is the COAS 2000 Educate America Act and the Reauthorized Elementary and Secondary Education Act (ACA), has drawn up parent involvement in their children's education as a national priority. In fact, a study has been conducted and the results show the responsiveness of parents and parental supervision of their child's activity are the factors that are significant for school achievement regardless of the parent's level of education, as studied by Nexoy D. Parumbu D. and Beldiano I. in 2013. Here are the references used for the literature review of the topic.
In my part, I will elaborate more about parenting styles in Islamic perspective. First, we have concept of family in Islam. Obedience and respect to parents teach good life skills. The concept of respect for elders and authority is first introduced at home. If children respect their parents, they will respect teachers and others in society. Thus, respecting and obeying parents is a great blessing as it teaches children many useful life skills, such as respect, patience, caring, etc. Respect cannot be commanded. It must be earned, just as your child needs to earn your respect. So, to you need to learn to earn respect from your child. Being a parent does not give you an automatic right to be shown courtesy and respect. If you treat your child with no respect and simply accept them to do as they are told without giving them reasonable boundaries to follow, you will be heading for disaster. It is important, therefore, that parents see respect as a two-way situation. Teachers complain that the children in their classes show them no respect. Police officers complain that teenagers are early and have no respect. And the older generation are often heard saying that children show respect back in the good old days. Next, good education. First one is love of the Prophet, the perfect man and the best model of conduct sunnah guided by Al-Quran. Second one is love of reading Al-Quran, which is the foundation framework for every sphere of human life. The third one is love of family member, foundation to develop religious value and ethical conduct to form an ideal personality. The last one is be kind to others people, to be a good person and practice the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Next, reciting Al-Quran. Many Muslim mothers will have experienced that after having recited the Holy Quran during pregnancy, the babies respond by being sober and inclining toward them when they again recite the Holy Quran after birth. This is a very interesting fact which explains why Islamic emphasizes that the expectant mother recites as much of the Holy Quran as is possible during pregnancy. Furthermore, the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that when a child is born, the adhan should be recited in the right ear and the iqamah in the left ear. The first thing is to recite the adhan, which is Muslim call to prayer, in the child's ear its birth. Nobody should think that this is just a piece of magic incantation. Both the word and the meaning of the adhan found their way to the mind of the child. Moreover, it is a reminder to the parents that they are responsible for the life of the newly born. The parents that they are, the training of that life is now the responsibility is being from its birth. Besides the adhan, the Holy Prophet has laid down that children should be taught good manner from the childhood. Next, parenting skills. Parenting can be very challenging, but it is important to remember that there is no one particular style of parenting that is successful for everyone. Parenting includes such as protecting children from haram to make him have a good Islamic behavior and protect him from Jahannam. Second, developing routine from birth. It can help children to continue this habit in the future. The third one is teaching children responsibility and respect. Accept somebody for who they are, even when they're different from you or you don't agree with them. Respect in your relationship build feeling of trust, respect, and well-being. The last one is spend quality time together. Build confidence for all of its members. Parents can teach children to build self-esteem through specific skills such as problem solving. They can also model the ability to love oneself without degrading others.
There were 7 questions asked in the interview. Question number 1 is, what type of parenting style do you think is the best to produce a balanced child in terms of academic, social, mental, and spiritual? To further explain, there are 4 types of parenting styles, which are authoritarian, permissive, uninvolved, and authoritative. First of all, authoritarian is strict discipline style, little negotiation involved, and punishment is common. Next is permissive, mostly let children do what they want. Discipline style is opposite of strict, limited rules, and mostly let a child figure things on their own. Third is uninvolved, lack of info and caring, limited communication, few or no expectations of children. Lastly is authoritative, rules are explained and communication is frequent. Question number 2 is, what do you think is the best way to prepare your child to face the outside world? To further explain, this is an open-ended question where respondents were asked to state their opinions and idea on the issue discussed. Question number 3 is, do you think parenting style affects a lot on a child's behavior? Explain why. Respondents were asked to give their opinion on whether or not parenting style affects child's behavior. Question number 4. Do you think that parents should start educating their children while they are still at home or leave all the responsibility to the teachers? Respondents were required to give their opinion on the idea of education starts at home. Question number 5 is, do you think parents should learn a little about their child's syllabus in order to help them? or just maintain with their current knowledge? Explain why. So some parents don't have a high education background, so probably by the time their children started high school, they may not know much about what the children are learning. So should they learn about their syllabus too to help them with their schoolwork, or let the children to depend on help from outside the home? Question number 6 is, why do you think parents should get involved with their children's school, such as joining the PTA or PIBG? For this question, respondents were asked to think about the benefits of joining the PIBG. So the last question, question number 7 is, do you think helicopter parenting brings more advantages or disadvantages? Elaborate. So helicopter parenting is a term used to describe parents who pays extremely or too much attention in everything their children do, such as emotional, academic, problems, and social life. So I guess that's all from me. I will pass the presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Umi Nurhanira, and now I will be presenting about the interview process. I have interviewed 2 students from IIUM Gombak campus to know their opinion on parenting styles and the parental involvement in child's education. The first respondent is Nur Darwisha, a second-year first semester student majoring in Kuliah of Education, Guidance and Counseling. Next, the second respondent is Nur Afrina Yasmin, who is also a second-year first semester student majoring in Kuliah of Education, Guidance and Counseling. The method that we use in this interview is the qualitative methodology, and we also interviewing them by meeting them and record the interview session. We're moving on to the next slide, which is the process of interview session. First, I have to contact the respondents in order to know whether they are available or not. Next, we choose the date and time to conduct the interview session. After that, we meet at the place that we have decided to start the session. And lastly, we have succeeded in making the interview to the end.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Umi Nurhanira, and now I will conducting an interview with several students in IIUM Gombak campus to see what are their opinion on parenting style that suits a child better. Hi Sister Darwisha, how are you feeling today? Alhamdulillah, good. Alhamdulillah. Okay, now I will ask the first question. There are 4 parenting styles that parents frequently use towards their children. What type of parenting style that you think is the best to produce a balanced child in terms of the academic, the social, mental, and the spiritual of the child? So, what is your opinion?
So first of all, thank you Sister Umi for inviting me for this interview session. Okay, for me, I think I will, if I'm the parent, okay, I will apply on the authoritative and also the permissive parents. Okay, as you know, permissive parents, like they are being open to communication for their children, okay, and then just let go of the children. And then for authoritative, they're quite strict, not that strict like authoritarian. Okay, they set some rules, some ground rules for the children. So I think it's okay for me as a parent to apply more than one style of parenting. Okay, when you have a authoritative parenting style, okay, parenting style, okay, you may set some rules, ground rules to your your children, and then, but at the same time, you being open to them. Okay, you let them discuss lah. Discuss with them what they like, what they don't like, okay, what they want to achieve. Okay, but at the same time, we also strict that to some rules we cannot set out of the limits, like Islamic perspective or whatever.
I really love that you say you imagine on how you being a parent one day. Okay, so related to to the second question, imagine you being a parent. You have a child, so what do you think is the best way to prepare your child to face the outside world?
Okay, as for me, I think it is the best way for me to like expose about the outside world to my children. Okay, since they are child, since they are a little but still in their content of their development lah. Okay, if the child like still young, okay, how do you want to approach them? Okay, like giving some examples, okay, or show them about the cartoons that are related to the outside world. There are so many cartoons that can be related to the outside world, and then explain to them, is it the good things to do it or the bad things to do it, and then make them think about it and ask their opinion, what they think about that kind of situation. I think it is the best way for me if I can expose them since they're child, okay, but according to their development of thinking.
Okay, we move on to the next question. Do you think parenting style affects a lot on a child's behavior? Why do you think so?
I think yes, of course. Memang dia akan effect pada parenting style. Parenting style tu akan effect pada children. Like everyone knows that parents are the role model for the children, right? So bila kita apply the good parenting style, the children will be like copying that kind of style. When they are where they are bigger and then become parents too, kan? And then this actually give some motivation sebenarnya dekat budak tu, mungkin dekat anak kita tu untuk become more better, become better lah, better person, kan? So bila dari segi pembesaran dia, bukan dari segi physical je kita dapat fulfill, kan, emotional dia by having a good parenting style juga. Okay, but kalau tak ada bad parenting style, okay, mungkin diorang rasa demotivated, diorang rasa macam parents diorang tak kisah pun pasal diorang. So I think it is a really important to have a good parenting style for them lah.
Okay, for the fourth question, what is your opinion on parents that leave all of their responsibility to the teachers and not involved in educating their children while they are at home? Do you think they should do it?
For me, it's quite unfair actually. When kita macam lepaskan anak kita dekat orang lain, yelah kita yang we are the one who make the child, kan? Maksudnya kita yang menyebabkan dia exist in the world. Kenapa? Why we should put it to like the responsibility to other people, kan? Lagipun before the children enter into the kindergarten, okay, the children live with us. So it's kind unfair if we put it the responsibility to educate the child to the other person. Yes, to other person, especially the teacher. Yeah, kan? So we actually the parents yang kena take that kind of responsibility to educate the child, take care of the child. True.
Alright, for the next question is, some parents don't have a high education background, so probably by the time their children started high school, they may not know much about what are the children are learning. Should the parents learn about their syllabus too to help them with their schoolwork, or just let the child to depend on help from the outside of the home? So what is your opinion?
Okay, for me, yeah, I understand if the parents, lack of education because of, sometimes the parents, especially in the rural area, okay, they can't afford to study, okay, further their study. So, if I'm the parents, as supporting parents, yes, you may like take some effort to learn something about that because yeah, the knowledge is not only for that kind of course only you can use it, because yeah, sekarang ni kan macam-macam kan, so kita ada knowledge sikit pun dah membantu kita untuk menghadapi dunia luar. So eventually dia bukan saja tolong anak tu, dia tolong diri sendiri juga, kan, being educated parents juga at the same time. For me, yes, I think parents, if they can afford to, take some education from that pun okay, kan. Kalau diorang boleh nak study a bit about what their child belajar kat sekolah ke dekat university especially, so it's okay for them to learn and then teach pula anak-anak diorang, even though anak diorang lagi pandai kan daripada parents tu, tak apa, it's okay. Kadang-kadang kita parents ni kena, apa orang kata, low down our own ego kan, for the betterment for our children, why not, kenapa kita nak kena kekalkan ego kita untuk benda macam tu kan, macam tu.
Alright, for next question. Okay, every school in Malaysia have this association called PTA, Parent Teacher Association, or in Malay, PIBG. They will conduct this meeting annually to discuss about the school's management, the child's development, and so on. So why do you think parents should get involved with their child's school matter by joining this PTA or PIBG?
Okay, what can I say is that, yeah, untuk memahami situasi yang dihadapi oleh cikgu sendiri. Sebab kadang-kadang ni sekarang ni tengoklah mak ayah kan suka menyalahkan cikgu kan, cikgu tak pandai nak buat ni, cikgu tak pandai nak buat tu, tapi bila meeting-meeting macam ni tak attend pun. So dia macam menuding jari pada pada teacher tanpa mengetahui apa sebenarnya anak dia buat dekat sekolah, apa sebenarnya matter yang berlaku dekat sekolah kan. Kadang-kadang tu macam contoh bayaran kan, marah sekolah, kenapa sekolah nak minta lebih-lebih bayaran. Tapi bila meeting kita nak explain kan, kadang-kadang cikgu kan nak explain dekat parents ni, diorang tak ada. So kat sini it's penting lah, for me it's very important for the parents to take this kind of approach to know about the school also. So dia tak adalah macam nak pointing jari kepada sekolah, nak menyalahkan sekolah kan. So this also for the betterment for their child, for the students kan. Kalau macam ada benda yang student macam, student mengadu dekat mak ayah boleh ajukan kepada sekolah kan, fikir cara sama-sama untuk menyelesaikan masalah student. So I think it's very important for parents to get involved in this kind of activity kan, especially the PIBG, this kind of approach. Also for the relationship with the teacher and the parents kan, untuk diorang membantu sama-sama untuk menjadikan anak itu, nak membuatkan anak lebih berkualiti di masa hadapan.
Alright, last question. What do you think about the helicopter parenting style? Does it brings more advantages or disadvantages? Okay, do you know about helicopter parenting style, or
I think you can explain a little bit.
Okay, helicopter parenting style is a term used to describe parents who pays extremely or too much attention in everything that their children do, whether in emotional, academic, problems, and social life. So, do you think this helicopter parenting style helps the child?
So it's mean like paying too much attention to
Yeah.
children. I think it's like, yeah, if I'm the child, okay, I pun tak suka kalau macam, parents tu kongkong ke, ataupun tu pay too much attention sampai I tak ada privacy sendiri pun I tak suka. So it's be moderate lah. Islam pun, kita sebagai seorang Islam, Islam pun apa tu menganjurkan kita being moderate. Being parents pun kena moderate kan. Ada certain things yang anak pun perlukan privacy kan. Kita parents pun nak privacy, apalagi anak kan. It's better like kita ada boundaries lah. Better we make the boundaries yang kita tak boleh nak melangkah lah ke privacy anak kan. Kadang-kadang tu nanti dia boleh affect to the decision of our child tau. Sometimes kalau macam kita terlalu memberi perhatian, contohnya dia chat dengan siapa benda semua, kadang-kadang tu dia bagi anxiety dekat anak tu untuk being social to others tau. Apatah lagi bila dah besar kan, bila dah ada nak cari pasangan hidup, dia jadi takut. Itu yang akan affect the emotional, dia punya psychology of anak tu juga. So I think we should not being too focusing on our child punya development without like giving some exposure. Like I said, we can be strict to them, but sometimes we make a open conversation what they want to do. Kan kita bagi kebebasan yang sedikit. Maksudnya kita bagi kebebasan sedikit lah kepada anak tu, but being in the Islamic context juga.
That's all. Thank you, Sister Darisha, for volunteering in answering and for willingly to be interviewed. Okay, that's all from us. Question: there are 4 parenting styles that parents frequently use towards their children. What type of parenting style that do you think is the best to produce a balanced child in terms of the academic, the social, the mental, and the spiritual of the child? Okay, so for me, I think the best parenting style is authoritative. Is it? Authoritative, sorry. Okay, sebabnya kalau authoritarian, dia macam terlalu strict dekat budak tu. So budak tu we don't know, nanti bila dia dah besar either boleh jadi rebel ke apa ke semua. It may be good for some person, I mean some types of people, but bukan people, child. Tapi selalunya I think most of child macam lebih prefer authoritative lah, di mana dia macam strict on something and at the same time give freedoms tu, but depends lah. Okay, kalau yang lain tu macam terlalu free kan sangat, budak tu pun tak boleh juga sebab kita tahu dia berjaya liar ke apa ke. Okay, setelah saya telah jawapan saya. Next, you being a parent right now, have a child. So what do you think is the best way to prepare your child to face the outside world? To prepare my child. Okay, so imagine I have a child. Prepare. I don't know, but I think I will spoil her or his a little bit. Sebab of course lah, anak first, right? But at the same time, I think kita as Muslims, kita kan macam ada certain behaviour as parenting yang kita boleh buat based on age anak kita kan. Like macam waktu dia kecil, macam mana kita patut didik dia. So bila dah besar, kita jadi macam kawan. Sebesar lagi, kita bagi dia freedom. Macam tu lah, so untuk persediaan seorang parents tu, I have to dig deeper lah on that kind. I think the best way to be a parent is like Nabi Muhammad SAW. Yeah, true. Third question, do you think parenting style affects a lot on your child's behavior? Why do you think so?
I think yes, like right now we are learning about behavior, about counselling, everything, right? So satu dua tu kita dah tahu about yang di mana seorang child tu dia akan imitate the parents' behavior, right? So that's why I believe that as parents we should portray a good behavior so that bila like waktu diorang besar time sekolah, like we always say kat sekolah macam
mak aku tak suka aku buat macam ni, mak aku tak buat macam ni, macam tu. So like tu menunjukkan betapa pentingnya role as a parents ni. Macam apa-apa yang kita buat, anak kita akan ingat. Even though dia macam nampak macam dia tak pandang, but actually dia tahu macam mana. That's why. Okay. Okay, fourth question. What is your opinion on parents that leave all of their responsibility to the teachers and not involved in educating their children while they are at home? Do you think they should do that? Okay, so for me untuk menjawab soalan ini, so it depends on the parents itself I think. Sebab some parents diorang tak sempat nak ajar, tak nak ajar anak dia tu kan. So but dia tak pun nak blame dia juga. But at the same time sudah jadi parents tu, they have the responsibility untuk ajar anak dia from kecil. Like macam sebab the formal tu should be macam start from at home, right? Sebelum pergi kindergarten, pergi primary school semua. So yeah, even though macam kalau busy macam mana pun hope that our parents should ajarlah anak. Kira macam tak perlulah like 100% independent dekat school. Macam tu lah. So, it's good, betul kat sekolah. But some things tu better taught dekat rumah, like maybe the attitudes, tak point like benda senang like ABC alphabet tu takkanlah perlukan sekolah juga kan. So macam mana nak bercakap, so macam tu lambat nanti. So kat situ lah mana parents boleh berperangan. Okay, next question. Some parents don't have a high education background. So probably by the time their children started high school, they may not know much about what other children are learning. Should the parents learn about their syllabus too to help them with their schoolwork, or just let the child to depend on help from the outside of the home? What is your opinion? Okay, my opinion. Okay, I think the parents should know, patut tahu a little bit, tapi kita kan nak suruh parents belajar pula kan. But sebab parents pun ada diorang punya height sendiri, like macam at math katalah diorang tak pandai, ada je yang anak genius gila maths kan. So macam kalau dia tanya kita tak tahu juga nak jawab macam mana, right? So the way is provide the best education lah untuk anak tu. Even kalau kita tak dapat nak belajar, kita bagi dia tuition ke, panggil orang datang tolong ajar kan. And waktu mengajar tu kita as parents macam kita dengar sekali ke, so that mana tahu kalau kita faham, so nanti macam tak faham, kita yang faham, kita ajar balik anak kita macam tu lah. So like macam even though saya still like waktu sekolah dulu pun macam tak suka sangat maths. So balik rumah, mama ni macam mana mama? Okay, macam mama pandai sikit maths macam mana mama? Papa macam pandai sikit sains, saya papa sains macam tu lah. Sekiranya role education and parents ni macam sangat penting lah. Sebab you know, kadang-kadang kita macam random je, mak tahu tak pasal ni. Kadang-kadang dia tahu, kita tak tahu pun diorang tahu sebenarnya. But you know, kita kena lah bagi macam anak kita, oh mak aku pandai rupanya, macam tu lah. Okay. Alright, next. Every school in Malaysia have this association called PTA, Parent Teacher Association, or in Malay PIBG. They will conduct this meeting annually to discuss about the school's management, the child's development and so on. Why do you think parents should get involved with their child's school matter by joining this PTA or PIBG? Okay, to be honest, waktu sekolah, like high school, my parents didn't involve at all, and I'm kind of okay with it. I'm thrilled at it because like, tapi waktu sekolah rendah sebabkan mama cikgu sekolah tu like dia automatically involved in PIBG, so everything mama dah tahu dah, so kita tak perlu nak pergi PIBG sebab mama memang ada kat situ. So that waktu sekolah menengah kata like selalunya PIBG akan like mesyuarat dia hari Sabtu like that. So mama pergilah sekolah dia, kerja dia kan. So papa nak jaga adik-adik, so memang tak ada masa. And at the same time like I don't know lah should ke should not, sebab dulu kan like sekolah asrama, so
so that the boarding school, like, we know everything. Like, we doesn't need like our parents to come and know about our, like, kita sendiri sebenarnya boleh bagi tahu sendiri kat parents, okay ni macam ni. Mungkin patutlah nak involve dengan PIBG ni, but kalau tak pun I don't think it's a big deal macam tu lah.
Okay, last question. What do you think about the helicopter parenting style? Does it brings more advantages or disadvantages?
Apa tadi kita parenting style?
Like
Too freely.
helicopter.
Is it?
Helicopter. Who pays extremely too much attention in everything that their children do?
Macam strict kan, every pergerakan yang dia buat like that.
I think they get involved in everything. The parents know their friends, know apa yang dia buat kat sekolah, know everything. Dia tak ada privacy kot. Like that.
Okay, so for me, I think I like 50-50 right now. I like, it's not a good thing to like over care for your children, but at the same time, it's necessary. I think it's depend on your child. Is it daughter or sons? Because like yesterday, I think I found like an Instagram second, like it said that, okay, if you have a daughter, you have to know everything about her, because like the friends, maybe the boyfriends or everything, because like lately there is a case about yang di mana yang perempuan tu dia bagi apa, dia macam tidur dengan the boyfriends kan. So waktu kalau clash betul, dia macam kata nak sebarkan foto-foto yang tak sepatutnya tu semua tu. So ni semua sebab pasal parents tak tahu benda ni. So anak kita lalu freedom, terlalu bebas. So that's why I think untuk daughter saya sarankan silalah jaga anak anda, macam ambil tahu, at least ambil tahu kawan-kawan. Kalau pergi mana-mana tu suruh the daughter like bagi tahu, okay saya nak pergi sini, semua kan, so that dia macam di-inform lah parents ni. So anything happen, diorang boleh tahu, diorang boleh tolong kita. Sebab kawan macam sebenarnya family macam lagi penting lah daripada friends or boyfriend gitu lah. Itulah. So it depends I think. Tapi macam dia harap macam the daughter mungkin akan rasa macam annoying je benda aku ni, macam tu kan. Sayalah. Macam sayalah kan. Tapi biasanya like sedar lah, macam benda tu buat as kita punya safety and diorang care kat kita. That's why diorang buat macam tu. So yeah.
Okay. Sister Afrina, for joining us today. Alright, that's all.
So now we have reached the conclusion of the topic parenting styles and parental involvement in child education. What has to be realized is that parental styles are an important aspect in the child rearing process. Opting for the right parenting style will greatly affect the development of the children as they grow into the adulthood phase. In fact, an important aspect has been revealed that the way the parents act toward their children and their level of attentiveness, as well as involvement in their child education, are the factors in determining their children's development